Surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm actually doing a review of a movie that's not comedy or horror. Yeah, it's, yeah. Don't expect too much out of this. This video is probably not going to be that long. Of course, I can go on for about 10 hours talking about Scream and other stuff that I really, really like, talk about crime shows and whatnot. Here, I'm probably going to give you about 10 seconds. So here we go. Now, so I actually, again, I don't really follow the franchise closely like that, but I just decided to watch it, and I was actually really, really pleased with it, and it was a fun ride. Very thrilling, very exciting, action, nonstop action from start to finish. I mean, we're talking fist fights, explosions, bombs going off, plane crashes, helicopter crashes, cars flipping over, lots of gunplay, all that type of fun stuff right there. All that type of fun stuff. So here's the synopsis. Over many missions and against impossible odds, Dom Toretto and his family have outsmarted and outdriven every foe in their path. Now they must confront the most lethal opponent they've ever faced. Fueled by revenge, a terrifying threat emerges from the shadows of the past to shatter Dom's world and destroy everything and everyone he loves. The budget on this movie was $340 million. This movie's been out for less than 2 weeks. It's already grossed over $500 million. Right now, the number is just over $520 million, and that number is probably going to be $600 million in less than 24 hours. Probably even more than that. So I've talked to people who are hardcore fans of the franchise, and a lot of them said they started to like it less and less as time went on and the more that they did. But based on where these numbers are at now, I mean, I'm willing to bet this movie could probably reach $1 billion by the time it leaves the theaters, or at least very close to $1 billion. At least we're talking like 900 million or something like that. And I'm looking at the reviews on here. Now, of course, Rotten Tomatoes, Common Sense Media, Internet Movie Database, they decided to give it ratings that were a lot lower than even what I thought they would give them. And I'm saying this as a person who's not what you call a hardcore action fan. I'll watch them occasionally, and I'll look at them and I say, yeah, this was pretty good. I give it about 7, 8, a couple of them maybe 9. But those three gave them 54, 40, and 63 respectively. Among Google users, you see 72 to 90%. One person says the movie should have been called Fast X, a high-octane thrill ride that pushes the boundaries. Fast X, an electrifying ride with jaw-dropping action. Fast 10, fasten your seatbelts with FAS-TEN. I thought that was pretty clever. This is seriously a must-watch in the theater. Good old-style classical action flick. I just don't understand why it gets so much hate and criticism from critics. I think this movie is fantastic. In fact, the best one after Furious 7. 100% love it. There are some scenes that were sociopathic, and it was good for Jason Momoa. He fit the role perfectly, but I kind of wish he was fighting Dom on the bridge that he fought back, because Dom is big, but has more arm strength, and Jason is like a mini size of The Rock, bigger and stronger, so I would love to see them fight. So, me personally, I'd give the movie about an 8 on a 1 to 10. So that's an 80%. So, again, I'd suggest go checking it out, people. This is one film that I can say I almost would consider watching this again. I almost would watch it again. Now, they say that there are some movies that are worth the theatrical experience, and I may not say this too often, but for a movie like that, I think it's worth the theatrical experience. I really think it is. I mean, you hear all the explosions and the crashes and the fights. I mean, there's so much, the vibration in the room and, boom, boom, all that type of stuff. So you have a good cast in here. You're talking Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Jason Statham, Ludacris, Tyrese Gibson, Dwayne Johnson showed up near the end, Charlize Theron, Jason Momoa. Lots of good names there, lots of good names. You see why the budget is so high, and you see why these movies have to overly advertise. After I looked at it, I said, now that I can see. You had some slow motion effects, all that stuff. So I think it was pretty great. So, and I might watch it again in the future. I don't know if I'll go back to the theaters again for it, but I'm sure once it's going to stream on a major service. I mean, you have some of them on Peacock and Max, which was HBO Max. I'm guessing when this comes out, who knows, it might be on more than one streaming. They might have it on Hulu and Netflix or whatever they decide to do. I might actually consider buying that on YouTube or Amazon digitally. So besides that, if you haven't seen the movie, check it out. I think it's really worth the watch. I don't think you'll be disappointed.